Hi friends, welcome to Day 31 Daily Current Affairs. This is about news about the UP Ordinance on Conversion not yet received by Ministry of Home Affairs. This is regarding Article 213 of the Constitution, under which the UP Ordinance was promulgated, says that the Governor shall not, without instructions from the President, promulgate any such ordinance if a bill would have required previous sanction of the President for introduction in the state legislature. The news revolves around Article 213 of the Constitution. Bill passed by states need to be cleared by centre. The ordinance on unlawful religious conversions promulgated by Uttar Pradesh government last year has not been sent to the centre for examination, according to a reply from the Union Home Ministry to query under Right to Information Act. The Ministry of Home Affairs examines bills passed by states that are repugnant to central laws before they get the President's assent to become a law. Article 213 of the Constitution, under which UP Governor Anandiben Patel promulgated the ordinance, says the Governor shall not, without instructions from the President, promulgate any such ordinance if a bill would have required the previous sanction of the President for introduction in the state legislature. Okay. Next, new COVID-19 vaccine likely by June, Serum Institute of India is saying. Serum Institute of India Chief Adar Poonawalla on Saturday said he is hopeful of launching a new COVID-19 vaccine under the brand name Covovax by June. SIA had earlier applied for clearance to conduct a trial for the vaccine in India, according to a government official. To the DGCA had reviewed the application and asked them to submit a revised protocol. Covovax is being developed by American company Novavax. According to the recent press statement, the vaccine was found to be 89.3% effective in UK trial and was nearly as effective in protecting against the UK variant. Next, 3,178 children rescued under Operation Smile. This is the news from Telangana, where Darpan app developed by Telangana Police does wonders. This is the app helping to save the children from the human trafficking. Here you can see the 2001 traced children were reunited with their parents and 990 children were sent to rescue homes. Total 344 children enrolled in Darpan and 598 children were compared with missing. 630 children were found as bonded labor, boys 563, girls 67. A fun-filled trip of a Kurnool-based family to historic Charminar in 2005 left them in a sorrow as their 2.5-year-old daughter went missing. Bringing cheers to the family after 15 years, the girl was traced and handed over to them by the Cyberabad police recently. As a part of the Operation Smile Phase 7, the Anti-Human Trafficking Unit of Cyberabad visited a childcare home and inquired about the inmates. After they compared the details of the missing girl with the missing cases registered in 2005, they finally identified her and she was handed over to the family members. Similarly, a 14-year-old boy who went missing in 2014 from Nalgonda town was reunited with the parents. This is so much helpful in reuniting the missing children. This is called Darpan app. It can be useful for the Telangana state competitive exams. Next, China is still largest source of critical imports for India. Okay. Multi-pronged strategy to plan reduced dependence. India's pharmaceuticals and electronic sectors are hugely dependent on China. China still remains the largest source of critical imports for India, from mobile phone components to pharmaceutical ingredients, and India is working on a multi-pronged strategy to reduce this reliance, which is a big concern than imbalance in trade. The trade deficit is not in dollars, it is overdependence, said Sanjay Cheda, Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, speaking to the AAI, All India Conference of China Studies, organized by the Institute of Chinese Studies Delhi and Indian Institute of Technology Madras. So for these, there are so many schemes to reduce the imports of China. Like one of the scheme is PLI scheme, Production Linked Incentive scheme. Mr. Chenda said that India was working on a multi-pronged strategy to reduce this dependence, ranging from production linked scheme to boost domestic manufacturing, a global effort involving India's foreign ministers to find alternatives to China, and the use of free trade agreements with other trading partners. There are so many schemes to reduce that is happening. And one more thing you can see here, Mr. Chenna noted that steel imports had fallen from high of $2.8 billion to less than $1 billion, with China replaced by South Korea in part because of an free trade agreement. India in 2009 withdrew from the RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which would have put India and China in the same trading bloc, the FTA. He said, referring to the example of steel is resulting in the diversification for free. Okay, next. Hi, one second. Government plans not to ban Bitcoin, set up official digital currency. Supreme Court had in March overturned RBI's diktat to FIs not to deal in virtual currency. No major economy has taken the drastic step of placing a blanket wall owing cryptocurrencies. India plans to introduce a law to ban private cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and put replace framework for an official digital currency now to be issued by the central bank according to a legislative agenda listed by the government. The law will create a facilitative framework for creation of official digital currency to be issued by the RBI. The agenda, published on the lower house website on Friday, showed the legislation listed for debate in the current parliament session seeks to prohibit all private cryptocurrencies in India. However, it allows for certain exceptions to promote the underlying technology of cryptocurrency and uses, the government said. Next, Google is threatening Australian government. The monopoly is like this: Facebook or Google ruling the digital world. Google exit threat. Why is the search engine giant irked with Australian government's proposed loan payments? The story is like that. Australia is working on a law that seeks to make internet platforms Google and Facebook pay news media companies for displaying their content as well as linking to their content. Following the publication of its draft last year, Facebook said such a law would force it to block Australian news content on its feed. Last week, just over a month after Australia introduced the legislation in Parliament, Google said it will shut down its search engine there if the law becomes a reality, prompting Prime Minister Scott Morrison to say, "We don't respond to threats." Google is threatening the Australian government itself. What is the basis for this law? The broad idea was been around for a few years now. In 2019 report Digital Platforms Inquiry, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, the country's competition regulator, noted that there was a fundamental imbalance in the power between news media and internet platforms. Specifically mentioning Google and Facebook, the report said these platforms had substantially bargaining power in relation to many news media business. Very few platforms of billion plus users base or the financial strength of a Google or Facebook. On the other side are millions of individual publishers and none close to being any match for the scale of the top tech platforms. It also highlighted that media regulation hardly applied to platforms, though they have been increasingly playing much the same role as the media. The last 2 decades have also been tremendous lights of the platforms and sharp decline of the traditional news media, which forms the context in the report. Next, Biden government will build on the Quad NSA. Sullivan describes the forum and Abraham Accords as Trump's administration's positive actions. The new US National Security Advisor Jack Sullivan has said the Biden administration would like to carry forward the work of the Donald Trump administration in strengthening the Quad grouping India, the US, Japan and Australia. So actually US government, new Biden government want to continue the Quad to strengthen that. Today's last news is that China's Hualong 1 nuclear reactor gets going. China's National Nuclear Corporation said its first nuclear power unit that uses Yuelong-1, a third-generation reactor, started commercial operations on Saturday. The reactor, located in Fuqing City in China's southeastern Fujian province, was designed to have 60 years lifespan, with its core equipment domestically produced. Each unit of the Yuelong-1 has a capacity of 1.161 million kilowatts and can meet the annual domestic electricity demand of 1 million people in moderately developed countries, according to CNNC. With Hualang 1 online, China is now at the forefront of third generation nuclear technology in the world, alongside countries like the US, France, and Russia, said CNNC President Yu Jianfeng. A second Hualang 1 unit is due to be completed later this year. These are today's daily news and current affairs. Thanks for watching. We'll continue in tomorrow's daily news and current affairs. Please subscribe, comment, and share.